What's going on, guys, and welcome back to FBA Capital. And today I'm bringing you guys a NAS100 daily range case study. So let's get right into the video. First things first, we're gonna mark up the previous day's highs and the previous day's low. If you guys noticed that today ended up being a inside day, and what does that mean? Neither the previous day's high or the previous day's low got ran, which means that overall we just stayed within the range from yesterday. So if we go say to the daily time frame, you can see it a little bit more clear. So just like this, we did not clear the day, and this is today's daily range as we see. Right? Is it today's daily range? This should have been yesterday's. Today is it? Hold on. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, we stayed within the daily range. We didn't target previous day's low or the previous day's high. We just stayed within. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark up the 12 a.m. open, which is all the way down here, and then I'm going to do the Asian session, which is also not right. I gotta fix this. I keep forgetting. But from this high all the way to this low, we have the Asian session range. So now that we have the Asian session range, what do I want you guys to point your eyes to? I want you to pay attention to right down here and right up here. So right here, I want you to pay attention to here, and then I want you to also bring your eyes down here. Why down here? Because this is the low of the day. Now, it doesn't matter that it's the low of the day. I just want you to keep in mind when it made the low of the day, where it made the low of the day. We made the low of the day at 1:45 a.m. Plus, we were also below the 12 a.m. open. So we came below the 12 a.m. open, made the downwick of the daily candle, never came back down. We came close around here, but we never came back down here. Now, this is something I was anticipating today, even though I wanted to see price have a run of the previous day's low, anticipating that price was overall going to keep this overall downtrend. That's not what happened, but as you can see, it still respected this low, and since it wasn't inside day, it makes sense now. I overall thought it was going to be a more bearish day, but as you can see, it wasn't. So we have this area here that I want you to keep in mind. We also have this big figure level 13,900, which is also being respected right in this level right here. So we have 13,900 also. So we tapped in, okay, we tapped into 13,900 below the 12 a.m. open at 1:45 a.m., making the low of the day. So we'll have all that written down. So we have a big figure rejection below the open at London session, making the low of the day. Pay attention to these things because, as you guys know, this happens pretty often. Things like this happen pretty often. I'm going to make this black because this isn't one of my main big figure levels. The next big figure level I'm going to do is going to be 14,400, 14,000, and I'll just leave those. Those are the significant ones. The rest, the other ones did get traded in and around, but we're not going to talk about those right now because those don't really have a big significance. So we have 14,400, 14,000, 13,900. So these are where all significant areas are. Next thing I'm going to do is I want you to pay attention to what happened over here. Over here at early New York session, we ran this Asian session high, and then we also did what? If you go to say that, I think it was on the 30-minute, or was it on the hour? On the hour time frame, we tapped into this bearish breaker block right here. We tapped into this bearish breaker block during the New York session. So we're making the high of the day. Right here, we made the high of the day at 14,400 big figure level after trading into a higher time frame breaker block. So we have the high of the day at what time? I think it was 10 a.m. Let me move this over. We have the high of the day, yep, at 10 a.m., which is London close. 10 a.m. High of the day at 10 a.m. Plus, we traded into 14,400 big, not 17, 14,400 big figure level. Plus 1 hour breaker block. Plus this last confirmation I'm about to show you. So if we pull our fib from yesterday's high to yesterday's low, right here. Why yesterday's low? Because this is the range price was currently in at the time of this trade. Just like this. So from here to here, just like that. You see that we also have this fib short right here also. So where did I draw it? From yesterday's high to yesterday's low, because that was the range that price was currently in. All within this. This is the range that price was trading in. So we pulled that fib, and we also had this fib short scenario. So we also had a fib short. So this would have been a great trade. This is actually a trade I was looking to take today. But you guys would be, let me just show you what happened. I went short right here. This is when I went short. I went short just like this, anticipating price to start to come lower, and I was anticipating price to at least make a run for this low and come down to the 50% of the Asian session. Why? Because if you get the 50% of the Asian session just like this and drag it over, it is right below this low. So we knew I knew that we were more than likely going to come clear this liquidity. I saw that we tapped into 14,400, tapped into the 1 hour breaker block, and I saw what time it was. It was 9:45, so we were making the high of the day, and this was a good potential reason for me to believe we were going to have this reversal scenario. So what did I do? I put my stop loss above that wick for about 50 points, and I was targeting these lows. So it was such an amazing trade, such an amazing trade. And guess what happened? False break. False break right to the wick, and it was crazy. I knew I should have moved my stop. My stop was at around 14,400. I shouldn't have had it at that big figure level, but you live and learn. And then from there, the rest was history, as you can see. Price came to where I thought, started rejecting, came to 14,000. And yeah, we came to 14,000, and it just started to reject. So from there, we had this move up here, which would have been an ideal trade that you would have wanted to take today. So what did we do? We ended up targeting 14,000. So 14,000 targeted. That would have been something you would have been looking to do. And the one thing I like to do, I like to use big figure levels as targets, and I like to use liquidity areas as targets. So swing highs, swing lows. So this low here would have been something that I was looking to target, and then I would have been looking to target 14,000 too. That's what I like to target, big figure levels, and I also like to use swing highs and swing lows because, as we know, the market trades into liquidity. So overall, today was I want to say bearish reversal, but it was also a London continuation. It was a mix of both, but overall, I would just say a London continuation because the London low was holding up. And if you pull your fib from this low down here to this high that was made during this high up here during the high of the day, and then you pull this fib, get your normal fib, you see that we also are respecting the fib on this time frame also. So let me get rid of that 30.20%. Just like this, pull this over. You see that price is also rejecting this fib long. So we can add that in there. 14,000 target plus fib long. Just like that. At what time? I want to say price started to move around 15, but we came down here around 13. It was during early Asian session. I want to say early Asian session. So just like this, just like that, 14,000 target plus the fib long from this low to this high. And you can see prices just slowly consolidating from there. But now let's draw out the schematic of overall what happened today. So we had the Asian session range. Then from here, we had that little London session move. Price pushed, cleared the Asian session high, came down, had a retest, and then came back into the range. And overall, it stayed within this Asian session range overall, because that's why I like the Asian session range. It gives you an area where price is likely to consolidate. And as you can see, price just consolidated within here, and that's going to happen sometimes. Some days you're not going to get a run of the previous day's high and the previous day's low. You just got to take what you can get and just move on from there. You're never going to have perfect trades. You're never going to have perfect days. It's just all about being able to manage risk on a day-to-day basis, so when those good trades do come, you can take advantage of them. So overall, this is all that really happened with NAS100. It was a good move. If you would have been able to catch this move, this would have been a potential 400 or at least 300 points you could have potentially caught. So on that note, I'm going to take this screenshot. I'm going to journal it down, send it in the Telegram chat. So if you're not in the Telegram chat, make sure you join that for daily ranges. Or just stay on the YouTube channel and just take these screenshots. But just make sure you're learning from all of these things at the end of the day. You want to learn from this because if this happened now, this could happen again. And you guys should be watching specific things happen at specific times, targeting specific areas at specific times. You're going to learn that these patterns happen on a weekly, daily, monthly, yearly, decadally, what if that's even a word, basis. So on that note, I'm going to end this video here. So if you found this informative, if you found it helpful, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you stay motivated by the fear of being average. And I'll see you guys in the next video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.